And now, it's time to go in the garage with Bodie Stroud.
Hey everybody, welcome to In the Garage. I'm Bodie Stroud. Wow, that just hurt my ears. What the heck was that? What's your name?
And I'm Nikki the intern.
Oh, shoot. I want to welcome everybody to the show. As always, I want to thank Steel Rubber Products for sponsoring us, steelrubber.com. Check them out. Also, we'd love to hear from you, so email us those questions at bodiestroud.com/inthegarage. And I am having a hell of a time getting going this morning. I know it's 10, but I've been going since 5:30, so yeah, it's been great. Been a lot of fun.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I've had no coffee, and here I am.
It's been a long morning.
Been a long morning.
Yes.
Too long.
Too long.
I haven't had 2 seconds to myself. I hate
Oh.
that. I at least like a couple minutes in the morning to sit there with, I don't know, some kind of caffeine or something.
Well, you kind of got it right here in the garage with us.
Yes.
Sit down, talk about some cars.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we can talk about cars. Speaking of which, that's what I was doing all morning. I just got my old dually, my 78 Chevy dually truck running for the first time. I think it started in, could be 4 years.
Wow.
But it fired right up. It's got a brand new motor, brand new tranny, and yeah, fired right up. Could be longer than 4 years. Could be 5 years.
Wow.
But I put a little gas in it, and I intentionally ran it dry when I parked it so that, you know, wouldn't gum up everything and get all nasty. Someone texting you? Someone calling you? I saw
No.
hearts and little happy
No.
faces and stuff. Yeah, I did. Oh, that is so cute. Woo,
So let's
hearts
talk
and
about
happy
cars.
faces.
Let's talk cars.
Yeah, let's talk cars. Anyways, so I got my dually running this morning. I'm very happy about that. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm going to do with it at this point. Actually, it ran really good. Feels like it needs a little brake fluid and then maybe some new tires. And sheesh, I think I'm just going to start driving that. Maybe we slam it.
There you go.
Right?
Awesome shop truck.
Yeah, an awesome shop truck. But I think today's episode we're going to be talking about the shark?
The shark.
The shark, the dent puller. So we're going to be talking about that. You're going to learn how to use a dent puller shark.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that it over there? Right here?
That's it over there, yeah. It's sitting on the coffin.
Wow.
Yeah. That's it in action, too. That's how it looks all the time. You can see that that's our little coffin tray. You got your porta power underneath there. You know, it's everything to remove dents. Everything you need all in one little cart.
It looks intense.
Oh, it is. It's crazy. It's really wild. All you do is push a button. That's it. And then you just pull.
Oh.
It's as easy as that. Also, we're going to be talking about ABS electric brake systems. I posted a picture of the brake system and mount and everything that we make for the Tri-5 Chevys and mount it on the frame, and we got a lot of good feedback on it, and people were interested in it. So we're going to talk about that. What do you think?
Sounds good.
You know how those work?
I've done a couple of them.
A couple of them? Okay, good, yeah. We've done a few of them, and we like them a lot. Unless the motor's not working properly, then hold on to your seat. No brakes. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, well, it looks like we got to take our first break. You're listening to In the Garage on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
You're hot.
Yes, I am. Welcome back to In the Garage. No one can hear that voice, so that everyone's like, what? Yes, I am what? Welcome back to In the Garage. Yeah, we're going to be talking about showing everybody how to use the shark. It's not very difficult. Oh, where's the slide deal for?
I just noticed that wasn't there.
Huh. Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's 110, so it'll plug into any wall. Don't have to worry about it. You don't have to have 220 or anything like that. And it's great. It literally is just this button.
Wow.
That's it. You got some settings over here for your different thicknesses, whatever your your application is, however thick your metal is. You can set it to that, because you don't. Basically, what it does is it just creates an arc when you push the button and you got your ground on your steel. You want to put your ground on your steel like that, and then once you hit this button in an area you want to pull, like you got a low spot, you push it, and it actually welds this to the metal.
Oh, wow.
And once it's welded, you just give it a pull, and it pulls the dent out.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and you can literally, I recommend starting out, softly, just a light tack,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, and then just get a feel for it, and it'll break free, and that's what you want it to do. And then if you want it to hold a little tighter, maybe you got a harder dent, you got a dent on a corner or something, you just want to turn it up a little bit higher. And that's it. You push the button, it welds it to it, you pull it, it pulls the dent out.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's the end of the show.
Wow.
That's it. It was that easy.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
No, I mean, it's really easy. You got this is a shrinker. So say you got a piece of metal and it's, you got a hood or something that's giving you a hard time, because metal will tin can, and it kind of goes book, book, book.
Yeah.
Well, to get that out, you got to, that was a good sound effect, huh? You like that? I knew you were thinking about it.
I love the example, though.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so this example is wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, to
Sound
people
effects
that aren't
and all.
watching and just listening, there's like a shaft probably about 12 inches long, and it's basically a handle, and then there's a weight that rides on the shaft, and it's kind of like a slide hammer type deal. And it just hits, and once it's welded, it pulls it out. It functions exactly like a slide hammer.
Oh, okay.
And then you have, like I said, the shrinker. If you got the tin canning, it's got like a little rod sticking out of the end of the handle, and all you do is you can put that, in the area around where it's tin canning, and when you push the button, it literally heats it up and shrinks the metal, so it gets rid of that tin canning. I mean, I'd like to say that it's that easy and it makes it go away right away, but it doesn't. It's still a lot of work.
Yeah. Do you have to like buff it out once it's done, or?
Well, you gotta,
it kinda does it for you?
you gotta picture you're doing this to bare metal, no paint or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing it over your paint job, because
Yeah.
you're gonna
Not gonna have a good outcome.
you're not gonna have a good outcome. So, you would want to still use your dolly and hammer, and you want to work on shrinking it and tightening it up a little bit, because there's no telling, unless you've worked with metal, and I always recommend practicing. If you can get some practice metal and you can create the same situation on a piece of sheet metal or something that you don't care about, and that's what you kind of work it out on, and you can practice hammering, dollying. But this does shrink pretty good. I've used it on certain areas of quarter panels and stuff, and I've just worked my way around the area, and I've heated it up, and it really tightens up the metal, and then it allows you, if you had a dent or something, you pulled the dent out and you kind of hammer and dolly and tighten it up, and works great. It just leaves a tiny little mark, but I mean, if you're going to be filling it and doing body work, it's not going to be any problem. So, right? Mitchell?
Yeah, you can get the marks out even if you're doing metal finish work. You did that on the Fairlane.
Yeah, no, actually you can. You can take a file, or we talked about doing metalwork last week on the show, and with the different types of grindings, grinding discs, and how to work metal. And one thing I did forget to say is you could, if you're trying to get a really nice metal finish, like a professional metal finish, and you are TIGging your welds, what I recommend is just taking a file to your welds, you know what I mean? Because a file will, and just regular, like, I don't know, 180 grit sandpaper on a longboard, I've sat there and I've just worked the whole weld out.
Wow.
Because you don't want to take away a lot of material. You know,
Is that
you want to keep the integrity and the strength of the steel. Once you start taking and grinding out metal, I mean, like on this piece right here, you can see someone ground down a lot on it, you know, and it's like you want to kind of stay away from that.
yeah? Does it take more time when you do it like that?
Well, it takes more time because you could get yourself into a situation where you've made the metal so thin it starts cracking and there's no integrity left in the steel. So you have to cut an area out and you got to weld a new patch in, because all you're going to do is, if you Bondo that later, it's just going to start cracking
Yeah.
because it'll start moving.
You don't want that.
No, you don't want that, especially, you know, in a car when a car moves everywhere. The panels move, the chassis moves, everything's constantly moving and it's absorbing the bumps in the roads and stuff. So you will, after a while, start seeing, you know, if you've ground down so thin somewhere on a car where it's done that and it's cracked. So, but yeah, this is the best investment we ever made, I think. You know, it's got a couple other different tools. You can put these on larger areas where you have a problem.
What are those?
You just basically you do a little tack to each of them, and it tacks it to the car. Say you have like a long dent or something, a problem like that, you can do that, and then you can get like a slide hammer with a hook, and you can pull pink, you know, as you need it all the way down. The best thing I tell people is, if you have a dent, you need to figure out how it got there, and you need to reverse it. Because if you don't see how it happened and what angle it hit and which way it hit, if it hit a downward motion, it hit an upward motion, did it pick up the whole front of the car, did it move a fender back into a door, you know, it does all kinds of damage that you don't see, and so you want to try and reverse engineer the whole thing. So, you know, all this stuff helps out a lot, because you can start it where it actually happened. What I usually do too is I'll break out the forklift and I'll actually hook up a chain and pull that bad boy out. And I'm not kidding. Used to do it all the time when I worked on big rigs and tractor trailers, and my guys were always hitting stuff. Oh yeah, I know every different way to pull out a dent, a fender, straighten a frame, pull an axle back into place, or anything. I can do it.
That sounds like the funner way to do it.
It is, because you're sitting down and you're just like, bam, bam.
Bye dents.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's it. That's the Shark 2. Looks like we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about a bunch of other stuff. What do you think, Mitchell?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Microphone's hot.
Welcome back to In the Garage. If you're just joining us, we just talked about the Shark. The Shark 2. You see it right behind us. It's a dent puller. Fastest, easiest way to pull a dent.
Looks like an octopus.
Looks like an octopus. It's got arms everywhere. But yeah. I mean, it is. We got asked how much it goes for, and I think they go for about $600. I think that's what I paid, $650, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad investment. I mean, unless you don't ever plan on doing a lot of metal work, you know what I mean. But a lot of guys try to get into this stuff, and you know, if you got the $600 and you plan on doing more than one car, then if you do one car, it usually leads to an addiction. I remember when I was building my father-in-law a 56 Ford pickup, probably, holy moly, that was like 12 years ago now, 13 years ago. And I was dealing with a local hot rod guy here to get parts, you know, and I would go through magazines and stuff like that, and you know, figuring it all out. And I wanted a TCI front suspension kit for it, you know, the Mustang 2, and So I went to him, and he was giving me parts at a good deal, and he was like, "Oh, I like you, you're cool." And he goes, "And plus, I don't mind selling to a guy like you because you'll probably never be any competition, and this will probably be the only car you ever build."
Oh, wow.
And I was thinking,
Did you
well,
show
I've
him,
already built other cars. I didn't say anything to him, you know what I mean? And yeah, so he's still up the road, and here I am. And I bet you I've caught up to him on his mini builds. No, he's a good old guy. I like him. But I mean, it's just funny how people say something because, that was my first like crazy frame off, total custom, blown 383 stroker tubbed out, So that was my first like genuine crazy build, where I took yeah, because I'd build other stuff. Well, yeah, kind of. But I mean, my bus was the first one I'd built from the ground up, and I had built so many other cars and lowered them and raised them and slammed them and, all the other stuff. And we helped build my buddy's drag boat and his dragster when he started doing quarter mile. And so, I mean, we were doing it all. I just never was doing, like, really perfect beautiful stuff. We were just throwing it together and down the track we were going, Yeah. Or let's see how fast we can make Wade go. 230 miles an hour on the water, you know what I mean? That's what we wanted to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. So.
What magazines do you look at for parts?
I
know you mentioned that.
When it just depends on what kind of car I'm building. Like that one, I think I looked at trucking and street truck. I don't think street truck's around anymore, but
I'm not even sure.
I think we made the cover of Street Truck on one of them, didn't we? Yeah.
Wow.
Something like that.
It was like classic street trucks.
Classic,
wasn't it?
I don't know. But so just pick up a classic truck magazine. I mean, it's different now though. You got internet.
Yeah.
Everyone just Googles, what they want for their car, and there it is. You know what I mean? So all you can do, like me as a seller, a parts seller, is try and be the first on Google search. It doesn't. We've been in a lot of magazines, and I don't think we've gotten hardly any phone calls ever. I don't think one, maybe one or two. We've been in a lot of magazines. Yeah. So I don't know what that tells you. Either people aren't buying them, or everyone's lying to us and telling us they like our work. Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, shoot. And I should have never paid those guys off. Right? But anyways.
You live and you learn.
You do. I mean, if anyone's looking for parts, I'd say, and you're just depending on what car. If you're doing a hot rod and it's a car or sedan or something, Hot Rod magazine at the back, they have all kinds. All through it, they have all kinds of stuff. Was there Street Rodder? Has a lot of stuff. If you want to go, yeah, Street Rodder I think is the best if you want to look for all the aftermarket stuff, suspension, stuff like that. Yeah. Or you Google it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to go old school sometimes and look at the magazines.
We like it. I like it. For some reason, I can't really focus on a computer screen. I don't know what it is.
I've been having that problem lately.
Really?
Yeah.
You're getting older.
I want to...
What are you, 45 now?
46.
46.
Yeah.
See, I'm 45. I'm right behind you. I'm having the same problems. Shoot. Anyways, looks like when we come back, we're going to talk about our little, if you're wondering, our ABS brake system right here, ABS electric brake. I got to clarify that. But, yeah, we'll tell you all about it when we come back. You're listening to CRN Digital Talk Radio.
All right, you're hot.
Welcome back to In the Garage. What were we talking about before the break?
Magazines and the old school way of
Oh,
parts
yes.
and
Oh, yes.
all
Those
that.
days are all gone. Old school days are gone.
Just go on Google.
Let's go on Google. I hate that.
But what are your parts?
They've made it so easy that it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's true, right? You don't even know because you're still old school. You don't have any. You don't deal with computers or social networking or anything. So he doesn't even know. He doesn't even care. Huh?
I said, yeah, I don't do any of that stuff, but the internet's helped out as far as us finding parts, as far as the shop goes.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? When I was mechanicking back in the day, and I can literally say 25 years ago, I seem to get more done. I could go right down the street and grab a part. I could say, hey, you got this part in stock? And I could just describe it to somebody. And they were like, oh yeah, we got that. Now? No. If you don't have a part number, they don't know. They're like, you what? You want me to what? Huh? It's a what? I don't know. Describe that again to me. Then, well, let me send you a picture. And you send a picture. It didn't go through. Try and email it to me. Okay, let me try and email it to you. It's a bunch of bull crap. That's what I say. You aren't even listening. You're texting. I'm just kidding.
Posting.
Okay, I know.
Telling everybody to listen to us.
I know. I'm terrible at it. See, I'm terrible at it too, and I seem to be getting worse. Yeah, there you go.
In the garage.
In the garage. But they probably already know that if they're listening.
Yeah. Hi.
They're like, yeah, really? How do you think we found
here.
it?
Hi, listeners.
But, yeah, so I like old school. So anyways.
Let's talk about what's in front of me right now.
Let's talk about what's in front of me right now. Bunch of parts. This is an ABS, all brake system, electric all brake system. I think that's what they're called, power brake system. What's the name of their company?
ABS power brakes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All brake.
What the ABS is, I don't know.
All brake systems, I guess. I don't know. I don't know either. Maybe they have some for that. But ABS. This is an electric unit right here, and we use a lot of these. It's electric power assist. You don't need any vacuum. You don't need any kind of hydro boost. Basically, what it is you got the motor right here. This is the accumulator. It builds 2,500 psi into this little guy, and that's basically your pressure that pushes your pedal and your master cylinder. The thing we like about it is it's very universal for us. It not only bolts up to your factory application, like if you wanted to, you could bolt this directly to your firewall. You don't have to have the big brake booster. So if you wanted a clean looking, simple looking firewall, this will bolt right up. You mount the motor somewhere and the accumulator somewhere else, and that's it. This one has a built-in reservoir as well. So this looks like an actual master cylinder. It's nice, it's pretty, it's polished. This one actually was too until we put a satin finish on it. But this could go on the firewall as well. Say you have tight clearances. There's tight clearances, right? I don't know what else I was going to add. But anyways, this works out really well because you don't have this big bulky thing. Well, I think we use it on the 65 Mustang we just finished on George's Mustang. And if you look inside the engine compartment, a lot of people think, wow, that thing looks like it's in the factory position. How did they get it? Well, we did use this, so it did give us a little bit more room, but we also did some trickery, some magic. We're good at that. But who was that? Was that you, Mitchell? Oh.
Ooh, silent Mitchell. This is so silent.
Yeah, man. Keep it down over there, all right? I'm going to remind everybody that Mitchell is here because I can read his face. For 8 years I've been reading his face, and so if I look at him and I say something stupid, I know instantly that I just said something stupid because I can see the look on his eyes. It's like a marriage. It's like my wife. Yeah. I look at her. Well, actually, that's every second of every day. So you're better because you only do it to me when I make a mistake. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean that's not solely why he's here, but he's here for moral support, and he is part of the cheering squad.
You guys are car soulmates.
We are. We're car soulmates. Yes,
Yeah.
I truly believe that. Yes.
How lovely.
He's speechless.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Just checking. um, yeah, I mean, for us, this works great because we're able to do all kinds of stuff. You know, I'd say probably 7 years ago, we did a 55 Chevy, and we didn't want anything on the firewall. We wanted it super clean. Well, we looked everywhere. No one was making anything. I think they were making some crazy thing with this shaft about this long, you know. It's like a 4-foot brake shaft, you know. And we were like, okay, that doesn't look safe at all, you know. So we built our own bracketry and made our own deal, and we actually hit it. It went up through the probably the leg that comes off the body for the body mount. There's like a little, I don't know, it's like a teardrop shaped opening underneath there, and we made it go up through there. So if you looked under the car anywhere, you couldn't even really see the pedal. So it came out really nice. And what was good about it is we could put this, you know, we made our bracket for this. We made our own shaft, and which isn't that long. I'd say it's maybe 8 inches, about like that. And then we were able to put the motor wherever we wanted to. The great thing about this is you can get a remote reservoir for the fluid. So basically what we did is we put it up in the kicker panel.
Oh.
Yeah, so it makes it really nice if people are, you know, because you can just pop the kicker panel off now and there's your little reservoir to put your brake fluid in.
Really cool.
Yeah, really cool. So, and also, you know, you can do the accumulator, you can do it remote, or I think most of them now come to where they're bolted up to the pump. But you know, sometimes if space is an issue, it's good to get the remote junction block as well. You know what I mean? Okay, we gotta take another break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to In the Garage. Yeah. If you're just joining us, we've been talking about the Shark 2 and the ABS brake system. All right?
Yep.
Yeah. Here it is. Go out and get yourself one. You know, there's a little bit of a drawback. This can be expensive. You know, that's probably the biggest drawback from what I see. You know what I mean?
How much would you estimate this to be?
Well, it depends on what package you get, but you're definitely, whichever one you're getting, it's going to be around $1,000. Yeah. So it really depends on how bad you want to clean everything up and how you want to hide it. And, you know, people have asked me, what do you think? How do you like it? Does it feel like a regular brake system? And yes, it does. It's, you know, you can't even tell the difference. It feels just like brakes. I mean, and the good thing is if you lose power to the engine or to the car, this still holds 2,500 PSI, so it gives you time to get off to the side of the road. You know, if you lose it on a car, you use, you know, power or whatever, and the engine stops, you usually, you know, you lose vacuum and you have no brakes. It's just hard as could be. I mean, and if you did, we have, people have also asked me what issues I've had. We have had a couple issues with the motors, but it hasn't been too bad. I know that they got a new motor out. You know, this hasn't been around too long, so you're always going to go through the, you know, what do you call it, trial and error stage of any new product, you know. So that's the worst that has happened. What's it feel like when the power goes out and the accumulator's not full? Well, you just...
manual brakes.
Yeah, you have manual brakes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think I would invest just for that.
Yeah, I mean...
you always want to be safe, you know?
You do.
Get off the road and get
You
to
do.
safety.
And that really helps. So, yeah. So there.
Yeah. I think it's really
What else,
shiny.
Mitchell? Yeah, plus it's really
Pretty.
shiny. You can polish it. Like I said,
The
this
inside of
was
it's gonna look
polished as
pretty.
well. This is polished. You know, what else has it got? It's got includes compact electric power supply, which is you know the what is I talking about? The motor here. That's the motor, and then you have what else you got? The integral pressure switch and relay come pre-wired, required only a ground battery connection and a keyed ignition connection. So it's really easy to hook up as well. They come with really simple instructions. It tells you where to, you know, what to plumb and what goes to the front, what goes to the rear, what goes to your reservoir or whatever, your supply line. Which one goes to your motor or the accumulator. So they're really simple to use. And I mean, you know, ABS has been pretty good to us, and they do sell a lot of other products as well. They sell a lot of bolt-on application stuff. If you're looking for just a regular, inexpensive disc brake setup conversion for like a Tri-5 Chevy or something, they sell it pretty inexpensive, $500, something like that.
I like inexpensive.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, sometimes we get lucky and they do bolt right up, but sometimes, you know, always when you're switching this stuff, I know people want to think that we live in a perfect world, and they think if someone sells it, it should bolt up. Here's the problem with the old cars, okay? None of them were ever the same. None of them. The chassis, they just would slap these things together. They weren't worried about perfect fit. They didn't seem to be worried about wind noise. They didn't seem to care about any of that stuff. I mean, they did their best. Mm-hmm. So when you're putting this new stuff on, it's all different. You know, it really is. And don't ask me why. I wish I had the answer. How could I explain it to people when they come to me? Because they always ask, Mitchell, explain it.
They had bigger tolerances when they were building them back in the day, I guess, as compared to now. So bolt holes, things like that, just are never in the same place from one car to another.
Yeah, it's good analogy right there.
Yeah, I understood that.
Yeah, wow. See, when he talks, it's heavy. I mean, it's like right here. But I mean, and that's how it is. We're doing all of our suspension right now, and so we have a factory 57 Chevy chassis over here that we're kind of reverse engineering, and you know, making our jig and all our tooling for our suspension and our chassis and everything else like that. Mm-hmm. And the wife's texting me. Sorry. And we're finding out that nothing is straight. Nothing. I mean, the chassis, it's like a snake, you know, going down the whole thing. We've straightened it all out right now, you know, just to get our measurements, our pickup points, our bends, and everything else. But, you know, it took a while. So when you're having someone build their car and they've got to redo something, bear with them for a minute, listen to them. I know it always sounds like a bunch of bull. You know, oh yeah, they're just trying to get more money out of me and I have to redo something. But anyways, it's not always the case. It is, sometimes it just doesn't work. We bolt it up just like they say, like these disc brake setups, and there's always some kind of little tweaking you got to do. So I'm just trying to tell you, be prepared when you go in, that it's not always going to work out 100%. You can make it and you'll get there, but have a little patience. We'll be right back.
Microphone's hot.
Welcome back to In the Garage. My microphone is hot. That's what the voice said.
You shouldn't touch it then.
Oh man. Anyways. Yeah, so there you go. There you have it. The Shark 2 and the ABS electric brake system. Good deal, good system, and like I said, if anybody's got any questions, we are a dealer for these guys. we can help you out there. We've installed a lot of them. They come with pretty simple explanatory instructions, show you where to run the lines, all your wiring. Like I said, it's so easy to wire it. I mean, this is basically it. 3 wires.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty simple. All it takes is regular 3/16 brake line. That's what it's built for. That's, that's that amount of fluid that goes through everything. So always use 3/16 brake line. But like I said, if you do buy a system, or if you have any questions about it, call us, email us. Email us at bodiestroud.com/in-the-garage, and we'll try to answer your questions. We've done just about every scenario there is with one of these, I think. We've matched this and this with this and this with this. This actually fits a car. He wanted, he didn't want a booster on his firewall, and so he got this. And then we finished a 57 Chevy. This one's for a 57 Chevy as well, convertible. We finished ours with our bracketry underneath, so you don't see the firewall's completely smooth. And he goes, "Oh, I want this. I don't want to see this.
I want that."
Yeah, I want that. So we aced this, and we put this in with our whole bracketry system underneath. And the reason it's all here right now is because everything's out at powder coating, the chassis and everything. So, and polishing and the whole 9 yards. So
Nice.
then it all comes back at once, and you start, we'll clean all this stuff up and make it look really pretty and brand new again, and we'll install it.
Nice.
So yeah, the Shark 2 dent puller and ABS electric brake system. That was today's show.
Yep.
And it's already over.
Right?
It's amazing. We didn't even get any trivia from you.
I had some too.
Did you really?
I did.
Gosh, dang it.
Yeah. Next show we'll do some trivia.
Yeah, next show. I'll try not to blab as much about parts and stuff.
But we needed to. Everybody
No.
wants to know the how-tos and what is.
I know.
and-
I wish the show wasn't just an hour, because I can go on and on and on, But I think this is cool. This is a good start. I like the way that the show's going right now. We're trying to give you guys a tool a week and a part a week, that we deal with, or some sort of vendor that we deal with, and try and help you out and try and make it as easy as possible. It's not rocket science, you know what I mean? But I remember when I was first starting to pull apart cars and work on it, I thought it was rocket science. I was literally like, whoa, I can do that? Okay, cool. All right. Then I can do this. I can put this over here, and I can do this, and I can lower this, and I can raise this. I can, you know what I mean? I can go faster, and it accumulates.
Yeah.
And, the magazines were what helped me in the end. I always read the magazines. I never really followed anybody. I always read the magazines.
So read the magazine.
So if I needed to figure it out, I'd read the magazine. I'd get the instructions. I'd read the instructions, sort of.
Sort of.
Halfway
pictures.
through. I'd look at the pictures. Give me pictures.
I love pictures.
Right? Give me pictures.
Yes.
All right. Anyways, looks like that's it for the show today. I'm going to wrap it up. Want to thank everybody for joining us. As always, I want to thank Steel Rubber Products for sponsoring the show and bringing it to you each week. SteelRubber.com. Check them out. And also email us those questions at bodiestroud.com/in-the-garage. Yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you next week, because you're always welcome in the garage with Bodie Stroud. Presented by Steel Rubber Products. www.steelrubber.com. On CRN Digital Talk Radio. www.crntalk.com.